Hey everybody, it's your friend Daniel Hutchins, and today we're talking about a Shang-Chi deleted scene, and we're going to be talking about some other comic book universe stuff. Okay, so I know it's pretty early, so I'm just going to try to knock out a nice long live stream for you guys. So, first, we're going to talk about our Shang-Chi deleted scene. Okay, so Marvel has revealed a Shang-Chi deleted scene that said Shang-Chi supposedly has a brother. Okay, so we know Shang-Chi is the 25th entry of the Marvel Cinematic Universe into the massive Phase 4, and we know that it has Samuel Liu as titular martial artist, and along some other names too. But aside from his strong Asian ensemble, Shang-Chi also introduced another memorable MCU character we know as Razor Fist. Now, the Marvel villain served as one of Wenwu's loyal servants under the Ten Ring organization, but as previous interviews have revealed, there is something about his backstory. So Wenwu gave Razor Fist a new life and purpose in a home, potentially hinting that has some close family ties. To the Ten Rings leader, now a deleted scene from the movie has confirmed Razor Fist is part of Shang-Chi's family circle. Razor Fist is Shang-Chi's brother. Okay, so Marvel Studios officially has unveiled a brand new deleted scene of Shang-Chi and the Legend Ten Rings, revealing that he has a brother. Okay, there's a clip which was titled Two Sons, which shows a never before seen moment of Wenwu's homecoming dinner with Shang-Chi and others. In this scene, Wenwu has revealed that Razor Fist as his adopted son. Okay, so Ten Rings reader shared the story of how he discovered him, admitting that the Romanian boy reminded him of his long lost son. Now, the scene ends with Katie and the mocking Razor Fist by telling him that he should be named after an arm instead. Deleted footage could be seen below here on direct.com. You could also watch it on YouTube. You can also go to YouTube and you could see the Shang-Chi deleted footage. Again, I'm going to check it out later at some point, but just letting you guys know, there is a deleted scene. So when you guys know that. So will Shang-Chi and Razor Fist Brotherhood be explored? Now, Shang-Chi's latest deleted scene shows the disapproval of Razor Fist inclusion in the family. It's unknown why his story beat the omitted in the first film, but it's possible that he was being saved for a potential sequel. Now, the scene also showcases Wenwu's love for someone, considering that he's reminded of him and he found him in Romania. This cements the Mandarin's ending in Shang-Chi, where he lets go of the rings for his son, but has ultimately sacrificed himself to the dwellers of the darkness. Razor Fist was the last seen alongside them with the newly reformed Ten Rings. This narrative trajectory establishes an idea that they are going to bond like we'll likely explore in a sequel or even in a rumored 10 Ring spin-off series on Disney Plus. But we don't know. Again, this is all contradictory, guys. This is all contradictory. So we don't know if it's actually going to be true or if it's actually just rumors. But okay, so revealing that Razor Fist is Shang-Chi's brother, adopted brother, it would have been given deeper meaning to the siblings' encounter during their first film, while also setting up the stage for a more emotional encounter in the next sequel, which we don't know when the sequel will be. So that could be a while yet until we see or if we hear about his brother being in the sequel. But Shang-Chi is now available to stream for members on Disney Plus. So okay guys, that's just a little bit of some information I thought was interesting that I want to share to you guys. So yeah. So okay. So now we're talking about Spider-Man again. So Spider-Man Homecoming writer has admitted Iron Man Jr. as tropes have worried him. Okay. So Spider-Man No Way Home will be the final chapter of the Web Swingers Villain MCU trilogy, which started early in Phase 3. Once Sony Pictures and Marvel Studios had agreed to use the actor in his debut in Civil War, Tom Holland's new take of the web swinger took on his first solo story in 2017's Homecoming. As MCU's Peter Parker did in Civil War, Homecoming set him up to continue his mentorship with Robert Downey Jr.'s Iron Man, arguably the biggest star for more than a decade. With Tony helping Peter push forward as a hero during the airport battle in Germany from Civil War, the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man was his first choice to shine alongside the Avengers. Because of this partnership, guys, however, fans began complaining that Tom Holland's hero becoming known as Iron Man Jr. instead of standing on his own. Now, as it turns out, the writers from Homecoming were worried about this being a case for them as well. Homecoming trying to avoid the Iron Man Jr. tropes. So during a watch party from Spider-Man Homecoming, writer, they have explained how Robert Downey Jr.'s Iron Man fits into the movie plot. Now, this was asked when asked by comicbooks.com, Brandon Davis, if the movie only had Downey for a certain number of days. They confirmed that it was the case. He also mentioned that it was important to make sure the Spidey solo film didn't focus too heavily on Iron Man with his presence as a supporting character. Okay, guys, so we knew we only had him for a certain amount of days, but more important to us, we did not want to let this down and become too much of an Iron Man movie. Goldstein also touched on this idea of having Spider Man's suit include an AI program, later known we know as Karen. Even though it worked in the end, the writer was nervous about how too closely resembled the relationship between Iron Man and Jarvis. Now, it ultimately works though, but we were skeptical about the Spider Man suit talking. Felt it brought us too close to Iron Man and Jarvis. Spider Man out from Iron Man's shadow. So, because Spider Man coming out of MCU under Tony Stark's wing as his right hand man, many fans have concerns the web swinger would be too overshadowed by Iron Man's presence as his mentor. This, given his quotes from Goldstein, make it clear that Spider Man Homecoming writers had this on their mind while developing their movie to ensure it stayed with Spider Man's story and his legacy through and through. So, of course, Peter still utilizes the Stark technology to this very day, thanks to his costumes like the Iron Spider armor and the new black and red suit that we saw for both of his two sequels. But however, it's only a small portion of the web swinger's MCU journey as he learns to stand apart on his own without suits like that and find his way as his own man. Now, Robert Downey Jr. only had about 10 minutes of screen time with Spider Man No Way Home before passing on the proverbial baton to Holland. Now, as he prepares to lead his way in the MCU in Phase 4 and beyond, although Spider Man is plenty popular outside of MCU, his stock will only continue to rise as he takes Tony Stark's lead and has learned what it truly takes to be a hero. The 17th. So you want to make sure you watch that. I'm just saying. So, okay. So now we are going to keep going. Going to keep going. Okay. Now we're going to be talking about Mark Hamill. Yes, Mark Hamill. Now I know it's been a while since we talked about Mark Hamill, but the last time we talked about Mark Hamill, I think it had to do something regarding with the Mandalorian. Yes, the Mandalorian, that's right. So Mark Hamill's Mandalorian cameo receives an epic new Funko Pop. Okay, that's pretty cool. So the Mandalorian is filled with memorable moments, and one of them was the cameo of Luke Skywalker, surprised on the season 2 finale of Mandalorian. Luke has appeared at the tail end of this episode, destroying some Dark Troopers in order to save Grogu and his allies from the Moff Gideon force. Now, the character portrayed by Mark Hamill was the leading Jedi in the Skywalker saga, so his appearance was the hit Star Wars series was a big deal. Many would agree that Luke returning during his prime Jedi years, serving as a visual treat during the sequel trilogy, didn't entirely focus on his character during the height of his powers as a Jedi Master. But again, aside from Luke, The Mandalorian also featured the returns of iconic Star Wars characters Bo-Katan and Ahsoka Tano. Now, Ahsoka Tano, she's going to be getting her own series. Again, it's going to be called the Ahsoka series. It's supposed to be a spin-off of Mandalorian. And I've talked about that before, so again, when y'all know that. So as the series moves forward with its upcoming third season, it's unknown if Luke will continue to continue his newfound storyline with training Grogu as one of the next Jedi's. But while fans speculate about his potential comeback, the new Funko Pop figure had surfaced to celebrate the Jedi's return for the Pedro Pascal led series. Mark Hamill's Luke Skywalker nabs another Funko Pop. So now this this really good website called Entertainment Earth has finally officially unveiled a brand new Funko Pop figure celebrating the Mandalorian, showcasing the fresh look of Mark Hamill's Luke Skywalker from the season 2 finale with the robe and the hood and everything. So the latest Pop Funko is a limited edition glow in the dark version and appears when he entered the Moff Gideon ship during the finale. The exclusive figure stands about 3.75 inches tall, showing off his hood version of the famous Jedi while holding the glow in the dark lightsaber. Now, it's really cool, guys. Plus, Entertainment Earth exclusive comes with window box packaging and is priced for $15 in US money. The figure is estimated to arrive in February. So that's not too far off, guys. That's not too far off. It's an Entertainment Earth exclusive Luke Skywalker glow in the dark lightsaber included, and it's actually on our friend Entertainment Earth. Now, the last time I was browsing through Entertainment Earth, it's been like a long time since I last was browsing through Entertainment Earth, but they have some really nice cool toys and collectibles. So if you guys know the comic book universe, then Entertainment Earth is your place to go for collectibles or anything with comic book universe. You go there, you just order things, and you just kind of just do that then if you'd want. But fans can enhance their new Jedi Funko collection by pre-ordering the figure on a link here from direct.com. And you can also go to Entertainment Earth and you can order the figure yourself. Now, remembering the Mandalorian's memorable moment, we know that the hooded version of Luke Skywalker is one of the Jedi Master's iconic appearances from the Skywalker saga. So, grabbing this memorable limited edition special galactic toy collection with glow in the dark lightsaber with added bonus considering that it's often a rare variant is actually pretty neat, y'all. So again, it's set to release on Entertainment Earth sometime in February, guys. February 2022. You could pre-order this collectible for the loved one that loves Star Wars, and it should serve as the perfect treat for your holidays for any Star Wars fan. And this wasn't the first time Funko designed a Mandalorian inspired figure for Luke. They also done a previous feature with the Jedi Master holding the child, aka Grogu, without the hood. This is further proven that Funko has the variety of designs and can go above and beyond to make Star Wars characters, and they might be doing some more Star Wars characters in Pop Funko form later in the near future. We don't know yet, but again, in the near future, maybe fans could get the trio consistent of Luke, Grogu, and R2D2 sooner rather than later. So let me know what you guys' thoughts are about that is. If you guys are going to be pre-ordering the Mark Hamill Mandalorian Pop Funko, that's going to be on Entertainment Earth on February. Let me know your guys' thoughts. Again, I think it's really cool. Uh, I don't have $15 right this second, so I don't know. Like I said, it's a limited time collectible, and it's really cool. So I just thought I'd share about it. So now we have some Batman news, guys. Batman news. Now, the last time we talked about Batman news was, I think, a couple months ago. We talked about Batman. So amid some of the Michael Keaton Batman revival, Danny DeVito comments on his return, and he hopes that he can certainly play the Penguin again. Okay, so the DC Extended Universe is certainly taking some unique steps forward into expanding the universe by looking into the past while developing the future movies of television shows. Now, movies and television shows. But the most prominent example will come from the 2022 The Flash, which you'll see Ezra Miller team up with Michael Keaton for the first time, and he makes an unexpected return to the Cape and the Cow. Also, you have Ben Affleck also taken on as a smaller role in The Flash. But the star behind the 1989 version of Batman has made wave as a rumor and has and it also said in return in 2020. Keaton himself said returning to the iconic role was like riding a bike. His comeback opens up the door to the DC extended universe with the multiverse and what it can hold. Now, since Marvel is exploring multiverse, it's not too far beyond where DC is exploring multiverse. And for some reason, every time I click on an article on direct.com, I keep getting these baloney ads. Kind of weird. But okay, so unclear who will be in Keaton's path on the villain front after first coming to blows with the Jack Nicholson Joker and the Danny DeVito Penguin. It turns out with Keaton now back, one of his former co-stars has an opportunity to see his comeback in the DC Extended Universe future. So now Danny DeVito wants to have a Penguin reprisal. So, in interviews with Forbes, Danny DeVito revealed he's interested in playing the role of Penguin again after his 1992 role in Batman Returns. While praising his original DC outing as the brilliant movie, DeVito sees his possibility of the Penguin making a comeback, although he said it would be all up to the film directors. Tim Burton, he had nothing but good things to say about his term on Batman Returns, and it's more than open to taking on this role for a second time. Again, I don't know why, but I keep seeing baloney ads. I keep seeing baloney ads. I don't know, it's weird. So I feel like it's not out of the question, but the Penguin will return someday. It's all up to Tim. Whether or not Tim wants to do it, I would say that he would, but could be in the cards because we ain't dead yet. We could do a continuation of what we had in the past because it was a brilliant movie. They afforded me that opportunity, and I was very thankful I would if I would be able to revisit it. So why not? It was a really good moment in the time for me. Two penguins in the DC Extended Universe. We dive in full in the multiverse, with confirmed comebacks for five Spider-Man villains from alternate universes. Now, Spider-Man No Way Home, on the other hand, while DC Extended Universe is taking a similar step, including Michael Keaton's Batman and The Flash, which could also continue to the future of movies, although it appears that Danny DeVito wants in on the action too. So DeVito's Penguin certainly made this impact on the 1992 sequel with Oswald Cobblepot terrorizing Gotham City as one of the numerous villains with a look that still leaves the mark to this day. The longtime star could certainly step back in the role with relative ease with the right opportunity and the right lead in the right direction. But the interesting dynamic here is that there's already a penguin that will be established in DC Extended Universe. Now, the 2022 Batman, Colin Farrell, will be bringing his version of the penguin to take on the Robert Pattinson Cape Crusader alongside other antagonists like the Riddler and Carmen Falcone. Whether Warner Brothers wants to have two different penguins in the same story is still kind of a mystery, though. Although the use of multiverse makes this possibility a little easier to realize. No matter what happens, guys, DeVito has expressed a true desire to explore the penguin again, especially with Keaton's Batman already confirmed for his return. The Flash is set to debut in November 4th of 2022. That is, if there's no more coronavirus delays. Okay, so let me know what you guys thinks about that, about Danny DeVito commenting about his return for a second chance of the Penguin. Let me know your thoughts about that. I would support him all the way because, like I said, Danny DeVito is a really great actor. I also like to see. I also loved watching him on. You might remember this, but it's the. I remember Danny DeVito from the TV sitcom we know about called Taxi. You know Taxi. Yeah, some of you younger folks probably don't know the sitcom Taxi, but yeah, Taxi is basically where Danny DeVito is the owner of Sunshine Cab Company, and I think he is really funny. He portrays the character Louis De Palma. Yeah, it's really cool. But again, some of you older folks probably remember Danny DeVito in the sitcom Taxi, but again, I would honestly, I would love to see Danny DeVito return back onto a Batman movie. I would like pay good money just to see him return and square off with Michael Keaton again. I think that would be very, very fun. If DC decides to explore the multiverse and end up doing something sort of like that again, that would be really cool. So now we are So now we're going to go to the internet on my phone again, and we are going to try to go to and we are going to try to go to Den of Geek. Den of Geek. Now, I know it's been a little while since we used Den of Geek, so there's probably a lot of new content. Okay. So we just have to find some good. We just have to find some good stuff, you guys. So now we're on Den of Geek. Now we're on Den of Geek, and now we are going to be talking about comic books. Hopefully, we just have to find something. Um, Something I've not talked about yet. Well, again, we are trying to find something, guys. We are trying to find something. All right. We are going to try to talk about. We're going to see if there's any information about Superman. Because we haven't talked about Superman in a while. So why not talk about Superman? Because Superman's a really important character. So why not? Okay. Okay. So now we're going to be talking about Superman and Lois. Now, if you guys who've not seen Superman Lois, I suggest you see it because I think it's a really good take on Superman. And it's a TV series, of course. Superman and Lois Season 2, What to Expect When They Return. This was from August. Now, keep in mind, guys, this is outdated. But again, this Superman and Lois Season 2, What to Expect When It Returns. So it's already confirmed that there will be a Season 2, with the showrunner walking us through some possibility to look forward to. Okay, so the first season of Superman Lois has come to a close, and it was absolutely a joyride from the start to the finish. Are you left craving some more? Well, yes. Do you need to spend more time in Smallville? Yes. Well, we've got some good news for you. Because Superman and Lois Season 2 is confirmed by the CW. The first episode's already been written. We spoke to the showrunners and they tried to get some details on what to expect for Superman and Lois Season 2. So now we're going to talk about some villains. So Superman Lois has given us some multiple Kryptonians for Superman to have superpowered brawls with, to trade heat vision blast with, but there's always the instincts to just give Superman someone he can hit. But the first season managed to do this while also telling us a pretty nuanced, even tragic story. But the central villain is what we're really looking for. But that just means it's going to be a little trickier to follow up someone who's equally compelling. Now, from the earlier days, we talked about the show. The question was, okay, if we're doing this, how are we going to make it different? And if you go through any of the movies, I think the natural tendency was you have to have somebody as strong and powerful as like Superman, or he would never lose. So the story engine has to go through, and while it's really important to have family of it, you also have to become a father once again, Superman. If you become a father, he has a weakness like never had before. His thoughts about Lois and his boys and his family, the family aspects, make him the weaker in a lot of ways because he loves more than just himself being a hero. But it also makes him a better hero because he has something he can fight for. Now, it doesn't seem that far off given that he thinks about power levels that are important to building a Superman threat like others do. Now, it doesn't have to be somebody he can punch as hard as Superman. We just think at the end of episode 14, when he came back and he had to tell his wife he can't find Jordan, there's a look on Tyler's face like he doesn't know what to do. But these are situations we want to put Superman in. Because I think to all of us, writers, actors, producers, and most important, where it really works on our show. Okay, Lex Luthor. The question about Lex Luthor. So everybody knows there's one villain we can definitely can't punch as hard as Superman. It's Lex Luthor. who's been brought brilliantly on to life on Supergirl over the last few seasons by John Cryer, who played Alan on Two and a Half Men, for you guys who don't know that. But with Superman and Lois determined to forge its own path, it may be a while before we get to see Lex show up in Smallville. Well, he also is in Smallville, if you remember Smallville series. It was played very well in Smallville. Okay, so look, I think John was awesome as Lex Luthor, so I'm certainly open to anything, they say. I think we have to find the right story where it would work. Now, because Lex Luthor is such an iconic character, it might be like, what we mean? There's some other characters we want to explore. Because, with Smallville, the show Smallville, they had to explore many different characters well to keep the series going, which gave them 10 seasons. Okay, so there are some other characters we want to explore. If we're going to make our stamp here, we have to try to carve out our own story of Superman history. So let's try to tell them some fresh new versions of the stories of Superman. Will there be some more flashback episodes? Well, that's a good question because in Smallville there was flashback episodes, if you guys remember. So on the highlights of a season of the flashback episodes, they told us big pieces of Lois and Clark's history together before their boys were born. And they show us that Clark's first adventures in Metropolis as Superman in the cool Fleischer inspired costume. Now, if you guys don't know the Fleischer cartoons with Superman, like way back in the day, you're living under a rock if you don't know those. So I'm just saying, we're not going to make this show into Lost. We certainly have to have flashbacks. Well, not a lot of flashbacks. We want to keep a balance, guys. We want to keep a balance. So it's going to help tell the story and help the audience understand where his character is and where they come from, so it really lands emotionally. And then we'll be like, yeah, we'll do it. Still, that doesn't mean flashbacks episodes are automatically baked in plans for Superman Lois Season 2 just. But we're trying to follow an episode by episode. So not having the typical sort of heroic television formula is really, I think, allowed us to approach stories from different points of view. Yeah, different points of view. And aspect, guys. Aspect's important too. And not maybe worry about the stuff that we have on The Flash. Now, will there be crossovers with other Arrowverse shows? Well, that's another good question. But because the pandemic put a kibosh on all DC television crossovers this year, although in all fairness, there was always expected to be a smaller scale of the Crisis on Infinite Earths in 2019, the characters that show Superman and Lois Season 2 could potentially pass over. We don't know if they're going to cross over yet, but we're just saying that it might. Saying that it could and that it might. But they haven't talked about it yet. Again, I think that it's sort of the North Star right here, so it's not any particular character. It's just whatever benefits the story for the better, he says. So honestly, it could be anyone right now. We think that under our assumptions right now, that things are going to kind of go back and how they were like the pre-pandemic, but we're still a little hesitant of it. And it's not just me. I think everyone's more cautious, and we just want to play safe first and make sure everyone's protected. We see how it plays out. I'm optimistic. I love to do what we can. The director has also teased more information about where Superman and Lois sit in relation with other Arrowverse shows on the air. Again, you can check that out on your own time, though. You can research it and you can look up for yourself how they sit along with other shows. But there's been lots of talks and questions about how all these shows interact with the post crisis. We think that in season 2, the audience will get a lot more answers from that. Now, Natalie Irons and Steele. Now, they are keeping quiet about the implications of Natalie Irons arriving from her corner of the multiverse to surprise her father, John Henry Irons, and the Kent family. Now, we know that they were going to show up. We knew we wanted her in the show because we want to explore their new dynamics, they say. But I'll just say, in season 2, there's a lot that everybody was dealing with, or is dealing with, having to get new members in the family. I'll just put it in this way, as simple as we can. But yes, we have to imagine she won't be thrilled to see that her mother on his world is married to a man who murdered her on the world for starters. Will Reign and the Superman happen? Well, look, you can't blame us for speculating this, but Superman and Lois has introduced John Henry Irons. We even gave him a steel armor and a hammer. They introduced the Eradicator both as a piece of Kryptonian tech and also the living embodiment of that tech from the mission we make on Earth more like Krypton. Now, in a sense, we gave us Superboy, but no, not the half clone of Superman, who eventually adopts the moniker Connell or Connor Kent, but the actual biological son of Clark Kent and Lois Lane, Jordan Kent. For Superman fans, this is 3/4 of the set of the replacement Superman, the heroes who rose after Superman's death. Now, we remember how shaky that was after the hands of Doomsday and the famed Death and Return of Superman from the 90s. So, again, admitting that we've talked about things, but certainly won't commit to this possibility either quite yet. But again, we think that we'll kick this stuff around like a can on the street, and be like, I won't say no, but I won't say yes either. Because we already wrote a first episode of season 2. And there's some more cool stuff coming. So since Supergirl already did a version of Hank Henshaw, hold on, the infamous cyborg Superman. Since Supergirl already did a version of Hank Henshaw, the infamous cyborg Superman, with all the other love of Superman comic book history set aside, there's already the display from Superman Lois. So if any of this being discussed by our writers, that's a good question. But again, we think that one of these things we want to do is we want to stay away from any part of the villains that were from Supergirl. They did for the most part, however, we're going to be completely reinvent them like Morgan Edge. So we're going to try to find some new deep dives and bring these new stories to our show. I think so far I'm really excited about season 2. The season 2 release is sometime supposed to arrive in 2022. The first season arrived in February, so this might be a good spot to pencil in for right now. So what do you want to see from Superman Lois season 2? Let me know in the comments. Let me know in my comments, and then let the people know on Den of Geek also what you want to see in Superman and Lois season 2. I'm just saying because of how great season 1 was, they have to really be careful about what they put with season 2. I'm just saying though. So yeah, there's a lot for them to think about, guys. There's a lot of things for them to think about. But again, we are going almost 40 minutes in this live stream, and I am starting to feel kind of itchy. Like my shirt is like super itchy. I think it's the fabric I'm wearing. The fabric I'm wearing on my shirt is itching. So, also, I have to plug my computer in. It's about to die. So, yeah, on a side note, guys, I'm going to wrap this up. I'm going to change my shirt because this shirt's itchy. And then I'm going to drink some of my soda. And then I'm just going to relax then. I might do another live stream later. Maybe in a couple hours or something, I might do another one. I'll see you guys later. Bye.